Hebrews chapter 11. Now faith is assurance of things hoped for, a conviction of things not seen. For therein the elders had witness borne to them. By faith we understand that the eons have been framed by God's word, so that what is seen hath not been made out of things which appear. By faith Hevel offered to the God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, through which he had witness borne to him that he was righteous, the God bearing witness in respect of his gifts, and through it he being dead yet speaketh. By faith Hanok was translated that he should not see death, and he was not found, because the God translated him. For he hath had witness borne to him that before the translation he had been well pleasing to the God. And without faith it is impossible to be well pleasing to him. For he that cometh to the God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of the ones seeking him out. By faith Noah, being warned of God concerning things not seen as yet, moved with godly fear, prepared an ark into salvation of his house, through which he condemned the world, and became heir of the righteousness which is according to faith. By faith Abraham, when he was called, obeyed to go out into a place which he was to receive for an inheritance, and he went out, not knowing whither he is coming. By faith he became a sojourner into the land of the promise, as into a land belonging to other than himself, dwelling in tents with Yishak and Jacob, the co-heirs of the same promise. For he was awaiting the city which hath the foundations, whose builder and maker is the God. By faith even Sarah herself received power into conception of seed when she was past age, since she counted him faithful who had promised. For what reason also there sprang of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore, innumerable. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them and greeted them from afar, and having confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. For they that say such things make it manifest that they are seeking after a fatherland. And if indeed they had been mindful of that country from which they went out, they would have had opportunity to return. But now they desire a better country, that is, a skyly. For what reason the God is not ashamed of them to be called their God, for he hath prepared for them a city. By faith Abraham, being tried, offered up Yitzhak. Yea, he that had gladly received the promises was offering up his one-of-a-kind son, even he to whom it was said, In Yitzhak shall thy seed be called, accounting that the God is able to raise up even out of dead ones, from whence he did also in a figure receive him back. By faith Yitzhak blessed Jacob and Esau, even concerning things to come. By faith Jacob, when he was dying, blessed each of the sons of Yosef, and worshipped, leaning upon the top of his staff. By faith Yosef, when his end was near, made mention of the departure of the children of Israel, and gave command concerning his bones. By faith Moshe, when he was born, was hid 3 months by his parents, because they saw he was a goodly child, and they were not afraid of the king's command. By faith Moshe, when he was grown up, refused to be called the son of Paro's daughter, having chosen rather to share ill treatment with the people of the God, than to be having a temporary pleasure of sin, accounting the reproach of the anointed greater wealth than the treasures of Mizraim, for he was looking away from other things into the requital. By faith he forsook Mithraim, not having feared the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is inconspicuous. By faith he hath effectuated the Passover and the sprinkling of the blood, that the destroyer of the firstborns should not touch them. By faith they passed through the Red Sea, as by dry land, of which the Mithraim, having taken an attempt, were swallowed up. By faith the walls of Jericho fell down, having been compassed about on 7 days. By faith Rahab the harlot perished not with them that were disobedient, having received the spies with peace. And what shall I more say? For the time will fail me if I be fully narrating about Gideon, Barak, Shamshon, Jephthah, both David and Shemuel and the prophets, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped lions' mouths, quenched fire's power, escaped the sword's mouth, from weakness were empowered, became mighty in war, turned to flight armies of foreigners. Women received their dead by a resurrection, and other men were drummed, not accepting the redemption, that they might obtain a better resurrection. And others had trial of mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn apart, they were tested, they died by murder of sword, they went about in sheepskins, in goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, ill-treated, of whom the world was not worthy, wandering in deserts and mountains and caves, and the holes of the earth. And these all, having had witness borne to them through their faith, received not the promise, the God having provided some better thing concerning us, that apart from us they should not be made perfect.